Okay, guys, so we're back with another video. Yes, in this video, we're gonna talk about our little Miss Bestie, little Miss Northwest, because I saw a video of her that is going viral. It's making a bit of a viral round on Twitter as well as on TikTok. And many critics are saying it is too much. So North has gotten some facial piercings, it seems, and I have to say it seems because I'm not sure if they're actual piercings or if they're magnetic. I don't know if people are still doing the magnetic piercing look. So I have to say that and I have to make that clear. But what I noticed is that many people, they were concerned as to why it is that North's parents, both Kim and Kanye, why it is that Kim and Kanye are allowing this little girl to get all these piercings and, dressing in the manner that she's dressing. They believe that, okay, now we're seeing the facial piercing because remember we saw the dermal piercings of the fingers. It was initially 1 and she increased it to about 2 or 3. And now we're seeing the facial piercing and it's about 4 of them. I'm going to include a video for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about, right? Now, Northwest is just 12 years old. Now, to be quite honest, this is not anything that's new for a nipple baby. And in all honesty, we have 12-year-olds out here doing a lot more than that. Now, also, North is not our child. She certainly is not. And whatever she does, it's within the parents' guidance, control, and direction. But observing this from the public's point of view, it makes me realize that for someone like me, like, I'm lucky that I had the parents that I have because I believe that parents should have restrictions and rules and they should have drawbacks. I don't know if it is a case that there's something else that is going on that we, the public, don't know about, but Kim knows about it and Kim is like, okay, I'm allowing her to be creative as much as she wants. This is just a phase. It's going to pass. I'm wondering if that is what Kim is saying to herself, right? Because normally we are accustomed to teenagers getting piercings, but it will be multiple piercing on the ears. And back in the day, it was a single nose piercing, right? So people may do it to the left of the nostril or the right. But even in that time, when a teenager had a nose piercing, it would be like such an outrage. It is too much and you're growing up too fast and you want to be big too quick. So now to see a nipple baby like little Miss Northie having what appears to be, because I still have to say it appears to be facial piercing. Again, I don't know if it's magnetic. I don't know if they're still doing the magnetic piercing. I know the magnetic piercing came about. It never really lasts much, but I'm wondering if that is what she has going on. But the internet is saying it's actual piercing. And I'm like, okay. Is it that little Miss Northie is going through a phase and her parents are allowing her to go through that phase because there are some dermal piercing going on with the fingers? Then we have some facial piercing going on. And North is now an artist. She's focused on doing music, producing. She has signed her first record deal. And I'm saying this girl is only 12 years old. When she's 14, what else are we going to see from this little girl, And I think that also one of my main concerns is the influence that she'll have on others because you know that other kids are looking at North and they are influenced by her. So I'm thinking about the other kids, like, what are these kids saying to their parents at this point? Are they asking, I know some of them are there asking their parents for the permission, and showing their parents North, saying, look at North, she's only 12, we're the same age. Can I get the same piercing? And I know for many parents, it's going to be a heck no, because we live in a society where children are consistently preyed upon. North has the luxury of having her own security, and as such, I believe that this is why she has all the privileges that she has. I believe that if they weren't wealthy, if Kim wasn't able to afford the level of security that she's able to afford for North wouldn't be allowed to dress a particular way. That's what I honestly believe. I believe that they feel so safe, so secure, and somewhat untouchable in that sense that it's a go-ahead for North. So for the average child who doesn't have that level of protection and that level of security, that the moment they bring that to their parents' attention, even asking for permission to do such a thing is going to be an outrage to some parents. But looking at it, I was like, oh my God, how far is this little girl going to go? And at what point is her mom going to say, no, I think we're going to a bit too far, a bit too fast with this one? She is not my child. And to be honest, as I've said, I've seen 12-year-olds out here doing horrific things, horrible things. And what North is doing, it's not horrific nor horrible. It's just that based on how we were cultured, she's doing too much. She's growing up too fast. She wants to do too much too quick. She's not hurting anyone, but she is influencing anyone. And sometimes influence can have negative impacts, and influence can actually hurt. It's not her intention to hurt anyone. It's her intention to live her life, but she also needs to be conscious of the fact that she does have influence, and that influence can affect people negatively as well as positively. And most parents will not allow their girl child to have that many piercing at such a tender age, because while the kids see it as something innocent, something creative, there are praise out there looking at them as something completely different. Okay, you have blue hair, you have piercing, you have nails, you have dermal piercing, facial piercing. You're all grown up. You want to be big and all of that. So, I think that this is where parents need to let their kids know the difference between a Northwest versus a local individual that is not of certain luxury to afford certain security and certain protection, So as such, I think that the influence that North has coming is going to negatively impact a lot of teen. And I think her mom also, I think at some point in time, the mom and the dad needs to say, okay, we're doing a bit too much now, providing that those actual facial piercings are real, because as I've said before, and I'll reiterate it again, there are kids out here at her age doing far worse, and they're doing it intentionally. But just seeing North at the age of 12, getting the dermal piercing, getting, the facial piercing, I think she's moving a bit too fast. That's just what I think. I'm not bothered much by it, but I think the facial piercing all at once is a bit too much, providing that they're not magnetic piercings. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? Leave your comment below, because, it's something kind of hard not to look at. But leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.